Wisdom Tree Trail Ambassador at the Wisdom Tree. The embassy's flag has been upgraded. Unlike people in Washington, we don't have a penis-sized problem, so our flag is appropriately sized and appropriately lit. They put solar lighting on there, and it waves proudly with a little bit of battle scarring on there, and it's not there to satisfy the ego of one pedophile. Okay, so where did we leave off on Saturday? We talked about Elliot Richardson. No, we didn't. We talked about, we'll talk about Elliot Richardson in a second. We talked about Alexander Butterfield and how he was the guy that basically tipped off the Watergate committee that there were tapes, and those tapes, Nixon tried to delete 18 minutes of the tapes, and that 18 minutes ended up being the incrimination that brought his presidency to a grinding halt. But it took close to 11 months for all that to get to the surface. I think in this day and age it'd go faster. But I noticed something in the whole thing with Trump and Nixon and the comparisons, that there's two things that each of these guys had that the other guy doesn't. Okay, positive and negative. In the case of Richard Nixon, he had senators like Barry Goldwater and Sam Nunn. And I wasn't the biggest Barry Goldwater fan, but at least the guy had some patriotism and some level of moral standing, that when Nixon got himself knee-deep in a bunch of lies and collusion and cover-up, those guys, those senators, went to the White House, and I think Sam Nunn was part of that group, and they went to the White House and told him he was done, that he wouldn't survive an impeachment trial in the Senate, that he would be convicted. We don't have that situation now with Donald Trump. We've got John Thune and Lindsey Graham and the rest of these guys that have sold their mortal souls to the fucking devil for money and prestige, and they have no ability to stand up to Trump. None. And they will not. I can't see John Thune. So you know what? I know your family company sold a lot of bike racks for cars, but you, my friend, are a complete loser. If you had any moral standing at all, you would go to the White House now and tell this idiot to resign. So that's something that Nixon, in the Nixon years, was a feature of the Nixon resignation, is that you had senators that had some backbone and some morals. Okay, not so with Donald Trump. Now on the other side, you had with Nixon, you had people who worked for him that maybe were not good guys, okay, but they weren't stupid idiots, okay? I'm thinking of Haldeman and Ehrlichman and Colson. These weren't idiots, okay? They got in trouble, and they blew it. And in the case of Colson, he really did repent of his collusion and the things he did that were dastardly. But he wasn't an idiot, okay? On the Trump side, you've got idiots. You've got Pam Bondi and Caroline Levitt. Just stop doing what you're doing, Caroline. You're a bore. You're a bore. Go take your little chubby mommy thing and go raise your kids, because you don't belong in the workplace. How's that, okay? Anyhow, you've got those people that are involved right now, and you've got the willing sycophants at Fox News who may have to go against their boss if they want to stay in good standing with Trump, because Murdoch isn't gonna walk away from this. Anyhow, those are the differences between the Nixon and Trump stuff. So I'm banking on the fact that Trump has stupid idiots working for him, like Pam Bondi. I don't care if she was the Attorney General of the country of Florida. She just doesn't know how to handle a problem. She lies, and she finds herself in stupid statements. I don't know where she got her law degree from, but you know, between her and the rest of you Floridians, Marco Rubio and the rest of you, we should probably kick Florida out of the union after this is all over, for producing so much shit. Okay, there's your Monday. We're back, and we're almost at 5,000 followers. In fact, we may even ticked over it right now, which doesn't, I never did this with the idea that we'd get any followers, but I guess I have to admit my little ego's like, oh, I got 5,000 followers. Okay, let's go for 10.